You can hear me. I did not have audio on in my recording. So 7 minutes of, I'll summarize it, but essentially I wanted to see this close above these other wicks, which it did with the body and some volume, which we 834 or 837. So we had 300 more contracts traded in this candle than these others, and it's hard to see. It's hard to see down here. You have to kind of get to a smaller time frame, but you can see like these are big volume candles like this are important to see a turn. I mean, it's this three things that happened, right? Saw the bullish on the hourly, didn't really see it on the 5 minute, saw it on the hourly. Higher volume than on average than the other candles pushing it down. And then the third thing was I was looking for really a push above, maybe even above here to hold, but I think this is a change in structure because we've now set a higher high versus the lows. So that's the break for me, right? Technically this is my break signal, although there was the imaginary lines that we can draw that show a break in structure down here too, and like that retest right there. It's a really good, I can never draw those right. That's a great entry if you're doing that, break and retest. So break here, retest right of that line. And I might not even get in this position. It might go without me. The other thing, I guess we could have been seeing a. I don't really see a head and shoulder here. I mean, maybe this is the shoulder line. Traded down into it, made a head. Pushed back off of it, and then kind of again roll over. So we got some. You can kind of make up some things that you see after the fact too. It's kind of easier after the fact to do that, but this is a good hold level, right? Overshoot, trade back up into a good support. All right, so I got one position, and my point of invalidation is back down here. I'll call it VWAP. And my target is going to be here. If we get entered into a second, then it'll be here. And so if we just come up and hit this, it'll take me out, no big deal. Same profit target. If we pull back and get my second entry, which is the safer one, then I'll sell one and I'll let it run to the next level. And then that's it. That's technical for me because it's we had a bear flag. I would think if we start stair-stepping up, that was a pullback to a level of support, right? And that was pretty good. I mean, it overshot me by a couple ticks, but pretty good entry. I mean, a great one would be right here, maybe down here. But yeah, that's probably actually it's right here on the body of this candle. So maybe we get a retest to that body or to the wick of this candle. But I think we might be running away. So if you're in a small position and you wanted to add, you watch the candle structure form. And I probably would say if it crosses past these points and we get a retest to either this level right here, like the wick, that's the one I'm going to watch. This wick right here is the body of those candles. Once we go through this and maybe we come shooting up past here, then an entry point, if Johnny shows up and is like, where's my entry? It's right here. 173 would be the ITF was targeting 179, but I think we clear these. We are going to come up here and that level, this level. If we get close to this one, this is point of control. It's not an exact time frame, but this is that pivot that I drew on the maybe hourly, maybe I drew that on the 5-minute, I don't remember. But that's the pivot. So once we see this breakthrough and a body paints up here, then like not an entry yet because we could still roll over and come back here. Like we could easily come back down here to like 161, the body of this other green candle here. But I think we're gonna push up, sweep these, and then likely see, you know, 1 or 2 candles, and then we'll see a pullback to this level, which is kind of the bodies and some of this resistance on the way up. So I wouldn't just enter now because we haven't pushed up enough. Like there's pullbacks easily to maybe this wick. There's so an imbalance, I guess, for some people. There's an imbalance down here, or yeah, somewhere in here. So I think we're gonna, again, if I'm seeing this the right way, then this should push up and take out. We should sweep these two. If we reject off of here, I might bring my stop loss up to break even and see if we get a deeper pullback before we try it again. But I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna, you know, we'll see. Maybe we see 200 before we see a pullback down to like 181. What was that? Congrats, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, you're welcome. So with this so another thing, I mean, you could say this could be a cup and handle, right? Like cup and handle, which would give you a move kind of from this line down to here. That'd be your move, your expected move up, which would be great, right? I wish it had triggered my second position, but I'm not a greedy trader. And if we failed off this level, we might come back down. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about there's something called, I call it like kind of the bouncing ball, where it's like you got a level, you bounce. You don't really want to see a bigger bounce, but sometimes you do. You want to see a bounce, and then you see it pass through it, right? And that could be what we see here if we don't. I mean, look, this is support or resistance, right? So I want to see us break that. If we break that, then this would be my level, or maybe, you know, in this range. Uh-oh, what do I hear? I heard somebody shuffling. Somebody shuffling? Or someone just like drinking? It sounded like Joker was here. I thought he snuck into the room. Yeah, so let's break through this here. I think we don't need to wait anymore. We've already done it twice. Like, let's go. Let's go up to 200, and then I think our bounce won't come this deep. I think we could bounce here, test 200 again, then see a little bit of deeper bounce, and then go. And that's why, like, sometimes, you know, when I first got into trading, I'd be like, oh, I'd start here somewhere and be like, this thing's just gonna go straight there, you know. And then I realized, like, it's got to make some stops along the way. You know, it's got this. There's a bunch of liquidity that it traded here before. It means prices. It likes this area. It's going to come back here. Probably come back here before we go here. So, and if I was in this, and sometimes I'll do this. This is kind of large size to be adding. You know, that far away from. I don't know if I want to add here and add so much risk. I'd add here. I'd still have pretty good conviction in the trade. So, yeah, I might tighten this up a little bit. But this is what I'm seeing. See, you know, clear these. We'll probably have a little bit of volume when we clear them because we'll probably have some stops from. This is the high right before the end of the day push up. This was the high in Asia so far. So pretty strong conviction that we will keep going up. We didn't Came nowhere near testing the low of the day of the New York session. So ITF did his strategy, broke from here to here, or thereabouts, 79. You kind of went equal highs, which is good. Here's that. Yeah. Wherever that. Yeah, this right here somewhere. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right here. Yeah. It didn't take out the previous one. Yeah. Yep. 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 Here. Yeah, this one. Yeah, they're buy, all the way up here. Buy. And stops. Mm-hmm. 121. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it started here. Yeah, it started here. I went down. Yeah. On. I like in here. Yeah. 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 I went down to the 1 minute to kind of see. 124. Close enough. Yeah. Could have been right here. Like you got in here, it comes up and wicks you out, and then turn back around. Yep. 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 Yeah. I mean, this could reject off of here, and we could see a bigger sweep down to reach. Like we could see kind of a bigger bounce. I want to see I want to see us clear this level before I would add here, and I might. If we see a push up to 200. Yeah. Yeah. In this area. Yeah. I want to see this trade and not just be an overshoot of this level of kind of consolidation at a little bit bigger, right? Because sometimes you'll see, I call it this. Let's see here. Say maybe this was some consolidation and then you get a little bit of an overshoot from it. I don't want the same thing on the top side. I don't want to overshoot and then a trade back into the range. Yep. So, see. Yeah, it did. It did. So there's 200, right, close to it. Oh, that's point of control, and as I go and give it more volume, it's just moving point of control. Since I was using white, it was white, but I have all these like white and gray lines, so it's just made it. Yeah. So if I look at it different, like if I said I just wanted to see what's the point of control from when we opened, that's the point of control from when we opened. And if I'm like, okay, on a little bigger time frame, there was so much trading up there, but we're kind of, yeah, no, there's a lot going on in this chart. This move, we're 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 way past that top to bottom. All right, I don't want to delete everything. Let's see. Yeah, so what's this move? That's $1,500 on that, and if I'd gotten my second one, which I might, we'll see if we push off a 200. Yeah. Yeah, we. Yeah, I mean, we could see, what is that? 300 points, right? 310 points. We could see that up, right? So, from what position? Probably this last pivot. Probably that pivot would be that's the most significant pivot. Yeah, so I drew mine from 50, I think. Thereabouts, like 50, 55. And that, so it puts us at like, yeah, 608, something like that, 605, 608. So, yeah, I just measured pivot to pivot, right? Like to me that's a leg. I did from here to here, yeah. Yep. Yeah. So 500. I mean, those are, Yeah, so, again, this we swept this high, so we could roll over, but we could also, the bodies of these candles look like a bear flag to me too, right? So we made a kind of a new high in this run, pull back, pull back, probably back down to here, and then push up, because I think we're now trending, right? We're now trending up. Yeah, I imagine the 1 hour is also good. Yeah, so this would be a beer where I would think to add if we get a test back down into this area. It's kind of, yeah, that's the bodies of the 1 hour. So there's a, yeah. So again, it's, the safe on the hourly. This is probably your safe entry somewhere between 775 and 85, right? Because we're not out of the woods yet from this resistance, because we got all of this resistance. Then thankfully we traded a bunch through it, right? We traded through it, right? Sweep out all the stuff in here. So if you think about this as like drawing something with a dark line, and then every time you trade it back through it, you're kind of using a light touch eraser, right? You erase it a little bit more, and then this hard line starts to get kind of, think about drawing like pressing hard with a pencil and then erasing it once, and then erasing it a second time, third time. Like you can still see that it's there, but it starts to get less and less important. So back to my 5 minute, and we'll see what we get. We'll give this another. We've been in this trade 30 minutes, and it's not a banger of a trade, but it's playing out kind of as we drew it up, right? So Freddie, yeah, I should have done this with a micro, probably not to. I don't want to give people the wrong impression with like the sizing, but it's $50, right? Like 30 minutes, we took almost. I don't think we took any heat on it. I think it was against us for like a tick, and then it's been going in our favor, right? So, and again, if you're like, as you're working on these positions and you're thinking about how you do stuff, this is my trading style, so you don't have to adopt it because it takes patience, and obviously with the size you have to be accepting of some risk. But if you were like starting to try and see some of these things and take the positions with smaller size, then you can also just be like, hey, I'm gonna lock up, $13. I'm gonna lock up 20, $26, and I don't want to do that because my target is up here somewhere. Make it as tight as possible. 236. So I want to get another 40 points out of this move. So I feel like I can. What am I at? 190 to 140. So right now I'm 50 points. It's got to move 50 points against me before I get the, call it 45 points in my favor. So that's what I'm. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it could. I mean, so I would, yeah, and I would hold this and probably still give it my risk, and I would probably still even add down here. Like I wouldn't think this is invalid until we've crossed back through here. So if I add up here, then my average entry is going to be here, and my stop's probably going to. I won't risk more on a winning position. Like some people add to winners, but if you don't move your stop, then like you're adding risk, and like now my average entry is probably here, and I kind of expect us to if we don't hold at this level on a pullback, we don't hold at 83. So this is my like trending strategy, I guess, if you would say. It gives me confidence to stay in a position. So you got the bodies here and the bodies here. So I'll take the safer of the two. If we don't hold this level here, if we don't hold here, then I'm gonna hold them, make my two holds. And it's my add target is here. Turn off point of control. Because when we're retesting, this is a bull. Like this was a bull flag pushed up and out. So we can, what I've noticed is a lot of times we will trade back to like the bodies of or the middle of that bull flag, not retake it, but we should hold. And every so often you'll get two pushes like this, and then the third one will come back and take out the first one you made. Yeah, I would think it's down here. I mean, right now I want to see it hold here, but what if this is gonna, if I gotta give it this much more room, it's probably gonna come up here, come back down to here, and come up again. Maybe it comes back down this deep, and then I'd want to add here, and I'd tighten my stop up to here, and then we could see it push. So yeah, I mean, I tried sometimes to like, okay, well, what if I stopped here? What if I took profit here and then waited for it to come back and add again? Sometimes I do that, but then it'll stop. Sometimes it'll come back here and not go all the way down, and then just goes without me. And I'm like, well, if I just held it, even though I was given some back here, I wouldn't have to add. I wouldn't have to start risking here again when it could easily come all the way back down to here. So like, if I lock some up, I could still give it all back by taking a worse entry or, you know, another entry. So I'll see, like, this is what I was kind of expecting. You said it'd come down to here, or maybe the body, the middle here. Yeah, so we wick down to the kind of the second body in that leg, and then so you push off of it. That's pretty consistent for a retest of the bull flag. We'll let that. I mean, we got all this nonsense to get through, right? There's a big block of stuff, so it'll take a little while to get through this, I think. Let's see, we don't have much else at this level. That was kind of a single move, and then not much there. So let's see if we overshoot this this level. It looks like we're kind of almost perfect to that level. All right. Looks pretty good. And if we come back up and stop here, and then come down and stop and come up and stop, I'll look for it to be consolidation, or I'll start to see if we start rounding, I'll cut the trade. Like if we start, you know, like here's a pullback, and you could be like, hey, this is bullish, but I didn't set a new high, right? So there's a little bit deeper pullback, but still kind of the right targets. So I want to see if this is truly a bull flag, then this next one should push up. I don't think anything's changed on the 60. No, not really. Just a wick where we don't have a lot of trades taking place. Could. I think we might see a little bit deeper pullback here, but yeah, that's probably the place to add here. Let's see if we get a little bit of a deeper pullback. There we go. It just had to come pick me up. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, this shows that this level is support, right? So for 25 minutes, when it's traded in here, it's pushed away from it. And here, that was 25 minutes of resistance. So, all right, now I can probably can go to break even if it retests this level. It's invalid. I can say, oh, I'll lock up $200, $180. If we break through that, look, I'll just 160. If we can't set a new high here, oh, is it too soon? Maybe it's too soon. I need to let it play around a bit. Yeah, I mean, I want to see what if we see this clear out this level. I'll move my stop and a profit here. And I'm my original risk, if we go back in the video, is like 500, I think. So I'm in 2 positions now, but my risk is 350. So I could have cut it and added 1 here and been in like a better position, but I know I know what I'm seeing, I guess. Like, wanted to see it come back here and hold, and it held, and then I thought I wasn't going to get clipped in, and then the market gods just gave me an entry, like with some violence too. It came down quick to get me. Yeah. So I do want to see what that was. 591 at 3 minutes left in this candle. So this should probably be another 800 handle candle. This one was 1.5 or 1.25k, 1250, back down to 500. So you see volume right here. So like here, you can on this you can at least say volume. I think you can do the same thing on TradingView. You can right click on it and show volume. So if you hover over any candle, you'll see open, high, low, close up here. Open, high, low, the candle close. And then if you add volume, then you can see the volume when you hover over candle. So like this down one was 1.25. And so these are the time slice ones, and then these are the level slice ones, right? So these are by time, the ones at the bottom, and then these are by trading level. So I would like to see this give me another push here. Because we could have just swept here and said, hey, I'm done. Like, I'm done pushing, but I think we got some more gas in the tank. Because I think we want to go, I come back up here. Again, it could trade down to this level, right? It could say, hey, I'm done trading this, trading up here. I don't want to be up here. I want to be down below. But it's the target, and I've cut my risk in half, or thereabouts, 560 to 360. And now I've got 2 contracts on the ride, which means I can let these 2 see if they play out, which would be 1500 and 2200. So that would be, I'd do some math, like 3900. Yeah, so 3900 and the 1000 I made on the way down on this move from this level. Actually, right here, I traded it right down to this level here. I'm seeing an M. It was an M forming, and then this M, the top of this M, will be my, kind of my level for support going forward. So I try not to let things like this push down with some force like scare me out too much. Cause just, hey, maybe this was the push up, another deeper bull flag to get some more contracts, and I hope we go here. if we paint this again, then, you know, not going to freak out about it. Maybe we're just making one of these, right? Looks okay. Huh. Hey man, you're seeing it right. I hope you're seeing it right. I hope you're right. If you agree with me, I hope you're right. So if this was, you know, playing out a little bit faster than it is, it'd be nice, because it's going to be a 45-minute trade here. Maybe an hour and a half to get up here. I'll probably, if we hit this first take profit, I might hit stop on it, or just leave it recording with no audio in the background, and then I'll just time lapse the rest of it and see how it progresses out. And I'll post it. I'll throw it on YouTube I'll throw it on my YouTube channel as a private video, and I'll share the link with you guys. Yep. Stop loss is like, I'm in a trade with you, bro. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, when you're locked out of an account, or I think there's a balance on chart time, but like, if you're not even trading, just draw up what you see, then go back and, like, this is all just like experience watching things that I'm like, where I've made mistakes and been like, oh, I see it swept this, right? Why did this sweep with a high not reverse, right? Like, you swept stops. Why didn't this reverse? Well, maybe because it just swept all the ones down here. I don't know. Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe. I mean, this pivot was important. Like, on the, how much it rejected off this level. It was important to me because I was short to this level. Really, it was like, this was the first level I was really targeting. Kind of like, I wasn't going to quite give it the full move initially, and then I was like, you know what, this thing is, when it started forming here, I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna go. And now we've seen everything we've traded has been kind of balanced. So trade up, pull back, trade up, pull back, trade up, pull back. So like I said, opened here, kind of indecision, and opened here, down to here, back up to here, and then another break of this out. So we're not far away now. We gotta get over 200. It's a psychological level in this middle of the middle of this mess. But if we can hold above 200, I'm really good confidence that we'll take this one out. It's 36 more points. And realistically, at this point, you don't see my screen? I see. Look, this is my Express account, my funded account. So this is 100K. I took a payout from it. I shouldn't be trading it, but I took a 5K payout from it. Yeah, it's all right. It's not always the time to, like, how do you know that it's going to make? I mean, his ITF century would have been fantastic, but again, like, his style is like, take this leg and get out, right? And like, no strategy is perfect, right? Like, I might be holding too long and I might roll over and come back down. Be like, man, I was up 1400 and now I took 140 out. I mean, I'll be upset, but the reason you draw out, this is why you draw out those levels, right? So I'm like, see, it's either going to go back down to here, it's going to come up to here, and then, the higher time frame, we did that little test. We're like, well, where do you think it's going to go based on volume? It's got all this volume to fill in, so I think we'll probably see that sometime soon. But just so happened the 60-minute gave us the signal. All right, 60-minute gave us a signal that, oh, look at that. It's about to go take me out. Oh, there we go. There's one. I missed it. I wasn't even really watching it. Well, how big was that candle? Oh yeah, that's a good one. So that trade was $1,500. So $160 on a micro. Oh, you took a trade with me there? Nice. Man, I'm sorry. Stop loss. I gotta mute you, dude. You gotta turn on some like noise cancellation or something. You can do that in your microphone. You can turn on noise suppression. I mean, so yeah, like you could, if it doesn't like, so here's what I'd probably say. Like we can come back off that level, and if we shouldn't invalidate like 187 now. If we invalidate 187 on the middle of this kind of bear flag, then it's changing character. Did that hit that number to the T or what? And look at that, like the high was 237, and I'm at 237 and a quarter, 237 and 3/4. So that's pretty good for drawing with crayons, right? Oh yeah, yeah. I took one off there. When I got my second entry, then I didn't move my two. So that's a $159 trade on a micro. And then, I don't know. I mean, what am I risking on this? 700? But like, what's changed that makes me not believe this is going to continue? That did that with a lot of volume, right? That pushed up with a lot of like, it's significantly, it's not like a big volume compared to the New York session, but in Asia, that went up with what, almost 2K contracts versus one 5-minute candle's been like 500 to 600, maybe 500 to 700. So it's like 3 times the volume in that one candle. So yeah, so I'm gonna do this here. I'm gonna probably do a couple things. I'll put an anchor VWAP on, and I'm gonna draw fib retracement on this candle, and just kind of let's see where the next candle post. Might do it on the body. See where the body closes. 1 minute. And then what I'll do is I'll move my stop loss to the bottom of this volume candle and see if I'll just let it continue. So maybe I'll move this one up to like the top of this range. Well, what are you doing here? Close already. Somewhere, pick a number. I know it probably seems a little bit flippant for me to be doing this with like a real a position, but I'm not trying to be that way about it. But I have pretty good conviction. It took this one out, did it on high volume. That's the next area. What's up, Johnny? All right, so let's see. See, if I had cut that, I would have given back $500 plus, $50, right? On a micro. I'll try and use the micro terms. I'll share this video. You can go back and watch it, Johnny. No, it's all good. Someone, I mentioned that I would do it for somebody the other day, and then somebody asked me because they were at work, can you record it? So we restarted the class a little bit. There's a couple golden nuggets in the stuff I talked about before, but there's enough. I mean, the trade played out in this session. So we're in Asia, so it's kind of slow going. We've had a couple pops. But yeah, I think we should see. Let's see. We'll probably see a trade up to. So we're kind of marking out some levels here. We'll probably see a trade to. We see a trade kind of to here for some resistance to get through. So maybe a push off that level, and then I think now feeling pretty confident that we shouldn't. If we trade back below this level, maybe I'll put it here for now. All right. So see a wick here probably. Golden nuggets, yeah. I mean, this is playing out like perfect. So, and Freddie, this is why I've kind of learned to hold, because I don't have a reason. Nothing's telling me to get out. Like this push down, but still on high volume with a big push up. So here's a push back up from that level, right? So this level maybe manage it a little bit, you know, like there's wicks in here, right? There's support here, big support on a V-shaped reversal. Oops. Another wick here, more wicks here. We start to enter this next zone of kind of support and resistance. So yeah, expecting a pushback here. Totally fine. Could pull back into this, the 50% of this candle, like some people's fear value gaps, that kind of stuff. Or maybe they say they fear value gaps like here. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's a couple points difference if it's here or here. My stop's on the bottom of that, the high volume candle, the highest volume candle we've had. This one's been pretty good. So yeah, we'll see what we'll see if this is if we're gonna reject off of this, this area with some wicks from before, or do we trade through it? If we trade through it, that was a sweep in New York, so we're gonna take out New York's high. Like, do I move my take profit up here? And by the way, normally when I start moving my take profit, it'll come to this level that I drew up before and then reject like hard. Like this is my karma for like I am long. Johnny, don't jump in a trade, bro. No. I took a position. You go back to the video later, Johnny. We were just talking through stuff, and then I went to the 1 hour as I was drawing up some levels and drew up. Noticed that there was a bull flag forming on the 1 hour, and you couldn't see it on the 5 minute, right? So it's a good example of like higher time frame giving you maybe sometimes a different picture, right? And so then Freddie and I started talking a bit about like when to get in, and his entry would have been better than mine, but mine had a little bit more confirmation. And I got in at hold on a second. I got in at 157, and then got out at 236. No, I added on a pullback. At 173, so I got a second position at 173. And my stop loss is at 200 now. So I would expect this to hold here at the 50% or thereabouts there, or maybe somewhere in here. We now have a higher volume, more selling volume. So maybe this one, won't be valid and hold, but I'm okay to lock that up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so one of these two is going to win. This one was about the same. Let's see the volume's about the same, 2.2 to 2.27K, so about equal from the push up from this wick and push down. They both kind of ended in the same spot, right? Like this one started down here and pushed up. This one started up here and pushed down, and they overlap enough that it seems like a fairly balanced balance of trade. Yes, sir. You almost always see me on a 5 minute, unless I'm looking like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So we could see this. See the push up here, the next one push down, and I don't really read too much into this. The wick, they didn't like that price level. It doesn't surprise me because we had this big push up without any pullback. It's pretty significant, right? Those two. So maybe I feel like Bob Ross. Um, a little pullback. These trees need some friends. So maybe some red leaves. Anyways, I'm some happy clouds. I'm not surprised at this because we've done it before, right? Like support, some support, resistance, 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 resistance. Resistance again on the pullback, resistance here. So we'll see if this holds or not. If it doesn't hold, I'll take my profit. If it holds and we go back up, great. We might be turning around here. It's like a V-shaped reversal. But I'm not. It played out what hit my take profit that I was expecting. And the second one was just a little cherry on top. So yeah, so that's the thing that gives me some confidence. Like I could have closed it out for 700, right, somewhere in here, or I could have closed it out for maybe 1200 up here. But it doesn't. It's made a big move up. It doesn't have to keep going. I mean, really, like this would be this. Oh, let me leave this up here somewhere. This would be the stop. No, but the trade played out as I expected it to for my first take profit. I got a second one. I got a roadie along the way, and I'll take an extra 500 on that one. It could have kept going. See, this is what happens. I move this up here being kind of greedy, and it went against me. But I did tell you that was going to happen. Is that yours?
Yeah, she got this one.
Cool, dude.
Smells good.
Smells good?
Smells like
A little bit, but alright.
just what the doctor ordered.
Alright. Hey, 10 o'clock, get some rest, okay? No more video games tonight. Go to bed. Big brain tomorrow, right?
Aluminum free.
Aluminum free? Yeah, aluminum's, they put aluminum in some deodorants that, because it clogs the pores, and that doesn't let your sweat come out as much. What? It has aluminum in it, but that's just because, not great, but doing it for a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah, maybe. I have other problems. Turn off some lights and get some rest. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, it's just like it's changing the levels, right? So, oh no, what did I do? Let me lock this. Yeah, so this was the break of this structure, right? Oh my God, look at all this junk on my chart now. This was the break of this level, and so this was accepting a new range somewhere, and maybe we're somewhere in between, these two. Maybe that's the range we're in. But yeah, when I see, kind of equally weighted volume candles in opposite directions, to me it's like, okay, we're trading somewhere where price is accepting a bit in this range. So then we're going to trade in and around this range a bit. So we should trade, again, like where do people, if people are trading in here together, there's like, it's an auction, right? So if we're auctioning higher and lower and we're finding trades in this area, yeah, I mean, I guess technically that is a bearish candle, but like, I don't know, on the 15-minute, what does it look like? They look like bearish candles, right? On the 60-minute, they look like bearish candles. So why do I have a feeling it's going to go up? I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't bother me because it's happening in an area that I expected it to, right? Like I drew this up here before we came up here. That I said, hey, we might see a bounce off this level. So it doesn't make me like my stop's in profit. So I'm not. I mean, I can lock up a little bit more, but it's kind of what I expected to trade to. And maybe we can't trade through this level yet. Maybe we come back down to this level before we go up. But I like the balance of volume in these two candles. These here? Yep. Oh yeah. So I looked at the wicks here and the wicks here as these were support where it did not want to, like, price did not want to stay here, and so this was support, and then this became resistance, and again resistance, and then again a little bit of resistance on that. You can't see it because it's too small, but there's a wick there. So I was expecting that we would get a push down, like we'd hit resistance here. I also was thinking that we had this good move up, that we have not formed a good bear flag. So I was kind of expecting some move down. I mean, so the other thing, I guess, a big wick like this just means that there wasn't much volume traded. Like the body is just where there was consistency of trading in a candle. That's like candle theory, I guess. But when you have a body, so on a 15-minute, these 3 candles, it's just one red candle with maybe a longer wick, right? Because it's just how much was traded. So it still could easily just be a bull flag. Like this maybe curls, maybe we see some trading back up into here, and some trading back in here, or it just swings down and stops me out and then shoots up to my level because I was playing with my take profit. But yeah, I mean, technically these are bearish, but like this one was indecision. It didn't really want to trade down here, and it pushed all the way back up to here, and they said no, like, we're going to trade down here. Like this is where we want to have an exchange. This one, we're starting off down here as well, so like this is a good area of exchange. So yeah, I mean, you usually you want the bodies on these to close. Like this is yeah, I mean we're gonna retrace. I think we're about to take this out. I mean technically there's a fair value gap here, right, on the way up. And like if I was really trying to hold it forever, I could say, well, I don't want it to retest this level. I mean at this point, I'm okay to call this one done. This trade's done, and look for a clean setup for something else, because this is not playing out as I was hoping. I mean, it totally played out as expected. My extended move concept for another level, not upset about, because we haven't found that buyers want to buy it above 250. Not materially, right? Some, but not many. People are happy to sell it up here, sell it down from here, which is consistent, right? So we rolled over yesterday, midday off those all-time highs, and I think we're probably still a bit bearish, right? I think we're going to come down to this level again. So we talked about it before that we'd probably hit these 2 levels, right? This would be our extended range. So we've now swept that, and we found that resistance. So I'm okay to kill this one and take my profit off the table, because this is a bit steeper a retracement than expected. So I mean, this candle doesn't really, it happened to be over this resistance. So yeah, it's a bearish indicator, but I mean, there's a lot of those that you'll see. Sorry, Johnny, what's that? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this suggests there's more sellers than buyers. This volume also tells us that there's, so this next push down was kind of a weak push. So it moved most of this body on very light volume. This one had a little bit more volume on, because I think, so this red volume doesn't all mean red. It's just red on a 5-minute. The average was higher in sellers than buyers. Again, these two were balanced for me. So I don't normally draw this many things on a chart, but I will for the purpose of this. But like probably somewhere in here is like the balance from these two candles. And I expect us to trade back here. This also actually, so this is the anchored VWAP on this candle. So this is all the volume from this candle forward. I can kind of see where it is. And, we continue to trade beneath this anchored VWAP on the high volume. Usually if we're going to see continuation from this point, we would be trading above it, right? So I'll probably kill this one. Yeah, even if it runs to that, I don't mind. I will look for another. Maybe this is like a lesson I've learned is that like I don't need to be in every trade. And so even if I'm like, oh, this is going to come back up and hit this, and then yeah, but I mean, what makes it a good and bad trade? Like, well, but it doesn't have to be. No, it's actually not that, Johnny. It's not the profit you make, because this could have been one contract and the money would have been fine. It was did my expectation of what I was looking, did that take place? And then if that takes place, then I can appropriately put my risk to my reward. And with enough balance, I can trade more size if I want to, but it's not about the money in any one trade. It's did the trade do what I was expecting it to? Like, what am I seeing it right? Is it trading the way I expect it to? So I might kill this one. I'll see how it plays around this anchored VWAP. If we get another rejection off, I'll close it. But I was gonna say just okay. So, you think we're gonna retrace this wick? This one? Oh, you think we're okay? Yeah, I mean, if we hold below this anchored VWAP, I will kill this trade on this next 5-minute candle. So 2 more minutes. If we don't hold above that anchor VWAP, then I will kill it. I mean, so as I said, I'm eyeballing this as kind of the balanced, like, can VWAP's doing the same thing? Like this is based on the volume that's traded at different prices. That's how it's drawing this curve. So if we are above this volume, then I have an expectancy that will continue trading up. So this is maybe just a very deep bull flag, right? And we traded back to the body of this. My stop was here for a reason, because I found that if we overshoot that, then it usually it won't continue. It will roll over. So, and congrats, Johnny. That's good, dude. See, you should have let it trade up to the top of this wick to see if your idea was valid or not. If you got in at 20, where'd you get in at 210? No, but like if your idea is going to come here, then you should trade to that idea. That's fine. I mean, if you saw something that gave you confidence to get into the trade and it took 70% of your trade out, then I mean, it's fine. Again, you weren't here earlier, so you should write down your strategy. Like if your strategy is to retrace the wick of the second in a series of one directional, like we say 2 bearish hammers and 3 candles on the 5-minute, then you wait one more candle, then you buy, and you're targeting the wick of that middle candle. Like that can be your strategy. I mean, there's a lot of times. Then why are you taking a trade, man? That's the No, you can't. You can't just trade on you can't, Johnny. You can't trade on your feeling, dude. Because if you're having a bad day, like you can't trade on a feeling. You gotta use there's all these tools you can use. There's 1,000 indicators. Like let them give you some support in what you see or what you're gonna trade. Yeah, Johnny, I want you to get better at this too, and like taking one trade, like you you should know why you're taking that. Like if I was looking at this, um, I would be looking to sell off of this VWAP, like really, like in this, in this structure, like big push down. It tried to recover, push down, tried to recover, push down, tried to recover, push down. Like this comes back up to here. This could be an M pattern, right? Forming to bring us back down to this level. So like the buy is that's not a safe entry in the based on where the candle's trading, right? Like that's not yeah. And so if you have a feeling, you should write down in your trade journal, took this, had a feeling, got it right. Took this, had a feeling, got it wrong. Took this, had a feeling, got it wrong. Okay, maybe the feeling isn't enough. Like that's why I'm asking you the question. Like, what did you see? Is it do you want to try and create a strategy around seeing 2 bearish candles with wicks above them as a like that's your strategy? And there's no problem with you saying like, yes, I'm gonna go find some and I'm gonna back test. Like, okay, let me find a I mean, like, we can just find one. If my trade's sitting there, it's going to do what it's going to do. Let me see if I can find one where we pushed up and right, okay, maybe this is it, right? Up, maybe not. Boom, got one wick, a little bit lower price, green candle. Maybe not exactly the same. And I mean, your strategy work out there. I got 2 wicks down. I opened, I bought there, and then I took the wick out, right? I mean, here's another one, right? Boom, boom, boom. Maybe I decide. Maybe did I lose Johnny? Yeah, I got a little bit of a push-up, wick, 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 wick. Buy here. Looking to take out those wicks again. Maybe I did get it here. I mean, you might be onto some. Like, it doesn't look. But the trading is just about creating some consistency when you decide to take a position, and like that should be. Earlier tonight we talked with the group about like everyone kind of just writing down. Like just write down what your strategy was. Stop loss even said he's like, well, I'm kind of looking at this and this and this. I'm like, hey, here's what you just said defines a strategy that you can take. And he's like, I want to scalp, I want to do this. And I said, hey man, that's great. Like you've got put these rules in place, check them before you make your trade, and if it passes those things, then you've got a strategy and you can measure it and find out what time of day that works for you and what time it doesn't. And like then eliminate the times of the day that don't work. But then like he's like, I want this EMA to be pointing up and above this EMA. And then I'm looking for a pullback or I'm looking for an FU candle. And after that happens, and I've got an indicator for the FU candle. And then he was like, holy shit, I've got a strategy. Like, yeah, you do. Right? Like you just laid it out there. Like, when do you take a trade? It's not because it should not be because you feel like something or you think you see something. You need to, like, I took a trade tonight because I saw an M shape forming. And then I took another trade because on the 60-minute I saw a bullish flag. And so like I had very specific reasons, and I drew out levels that I expected it to hit based on support and resistance, right? And so I traded that plan. Like, okay, if it breaks here, I go to here. And I had negative confluence on the trade based on my volume profile, but based on what I was seeing on the 60-minute, which is a higher time frame, it gave me more direction. So I went that direction. And that was, it's not one strategy. I'm probably trading like 3 or 4, but it is support and resistance is the basis of my strategy. But it's not about what I'm trading. I try and take the same trades that I see if I see the technicals unfold the way that I'm looking for them. So I'm only trying to be helpful, right? To like I'm supportive of people like saying what they're seeing unfold too. Like I'm totally for like someone else should drive and say, hey, here's what I'm seeing, right? Like that's a way for people to learn too. I guess Johnny, for me, I I really don't want to hear you that you're taking a trade because you feel some way right now. Like after 2 weeks of we're talking through it, man. Realistically, you should slow it down. We talked about this last night, right? Like if you're committed to getting better, you need to define some rules for yourself. And whether that's like you want to call it a strategy, like that's all a strategy is. It's like some rules that you trade with. And when you trade with those rules, then you can measure them and see how you're doing. And if like when you do that, then you can say this is working or not working. And Miggs was on earlier, and I was like, hey, you're drawing levels up right, but you're drawing up like weekly levels, and you're not swing trading. So how do you expect it to move 500 or 600 points, right? So when you get into the day, your levels are maybe too broad, like too wide. So like neither of them is a realistic expectancy move in a day. And so like I said, hey, maybe just take it down to like the 4 hour or the 6 hour, or something that gives you some more bands that you could look at. And I said, look, let's drop some 1 hour ones together. And he went through it. And it's like, hey, just give yourself something that if you're not going to take a very long-term position to hold, then maybe you need to, like give yourself some shorter time frame levels of pivots that give you some more realistic targets on moves. So you're not setting up a move that's 600 points when the average true range on a day is 400. Like it's really unlikely that on average the market's moving top to bottom 400 points. That the day that you're setting up your position, it's going to move 600 in your favor, right? Like that's and so. Anyways, this held, and as I said, this might come up and make an M up here, and it broke back up. We made some higher highs. So, but look, I'm totally supportive when you're going through and saying, hey, here's what I'm seeing, right? Because then I can also say, hey, I'm not seeing what you're seeing, and let me explain to you what I'm seeing. And not that it's right or wrong, just like, maybe to say like, hey, yeah, Yeah, I watched. Yeah, I watched the market a lot without trading. Like I took the trade down from here. This when the session opened, I took it down from here because I said, hey, this is an M. Like this was the high, the push up, and I said, hey, this is an M, and I can take it with fairly low risk. So I took a short here, and my target was around here initially, kind of like 100. I said, maybe I will trade down here and then bounce off of this. So we've got some support here. And then I looked and I was like, well, where does the M actually? And I picked this wick as my take profit. And it came down and went through it. And would have been a good level to buy, but and I was like, okay. So this formed, and I didn't take this and take it here because I saw it on the 60-minute. Because you got to remember when let's see here. When this is over here, like, what information do you have that it's going to go up? Like, there was nothing on this time frame. It was like, oh, it's chopping all over the place, right? And so we were talking about levels or something earlier, and I said, look, the 60-minute, this was like a perfect bull flag. So that gave us, an entry here that we took, or I took, I think, up here somewhere, 54, I think, I would say 57, right? This break of these two wicks. And I think I took it on the retest, actually, if I'm not mistaken. You guys keep me honest. I think I took it on the retest here. So I wanted to break through, and I said I want to see them retest these wicks, and it retested right here. 57, got in. I added when it came back to, I said maybe this level will hold. It didn't quite hold. We broke through it. I said this is my other level to add, and it should hold here. It came down here once, I think, and I said, maybe I'll slide it up there. Came down hard, hit it, and then took off, right? Broke out, and my first take profit was this level here. I was expecting it to trade to. First take profit was here. Kind of expected a pushback here. We got that pushback. Somewhere in here was my original take profit. The trading karma police, when I moved it up here being goofy, they kind of, we got this candle like right away. But realistically, this, I probably will move my stop up here sometime soon. I'll start trailing this last position under this VWAP that's moving off of this, again, not the highest volume candle, but the one up that's held. And so some people will say you just leave this here and you find a longer range target because this could hold all night long, where you got an hour and a half before midnight where they're going to set direction probably for the rest of until 4 or 5 a.m. to London. So if I said I got 3 hours, right? What's the hourly ATR? We call it 100 points on average, about 100 points a candle. So I could take let's see, yeah, 300 points. So I move it from the kind of the midpoint or the low this point. 300 squarely in my and my take profit. Right, 300 points. Oh, is that 75 points? Oh yeah, it's 75 points. So I mean, like 300 points overnight could be, yeah. That's the average on. I mean, we're in Asia now, so some of these candles were in the day. So where does it settle at in Asia? Kind of like midnight, we're at 80 points. So in the next 3 hours, give it 240 points, 230 points. So we could go from there to there, the low of this to up here. This is probably a level of importance where we had a breakdown from before. So I mean, I could come up here and be like, okay, I'm not gonna change my risk. I can let it run, see what happens. And these are all things that you can play with in a real trade or a fake trade. And this is all chart and practice time. But we'll see. I mean, I might leave this and just record the price movement, and just in the video I'll just speed up the remainder of the trade and see how it plays out. I'm happy to hang around. I just don't want to keep talking on over this video. because there's not, I mean, it's either going to go M shape on us here, which again, if you guys see that, that's here to here. Maybe it's up here and then we, 187. Like, if I really want to go for that super long move, I probably need to come down here and say, okay, I want to hold above this, kind of the break of this level for them to M shape and then continue. And we did that. We did this the other day. We did that same M shape. Where was it? Someone called it out. Who was it that called it out? Dids called it out, I think. He was seeing an M shape on something, and then, or a W. Maybe it was here, right? We saw the W, and then it traded down, and then it continued, right? It came back maybe from here to here was a W, right? And he called it out, and I think we talked about this level for sells with MIGs. Yeah, about this time of night. What? Yesterday, the day before. So I don't know. This is probably see, come up here and reject again. If it does, I probably won't let it play out. I'll kill it, and then I'll delete all this stuff and mark some levels. Like maybe I'll make a. So we can check later if it hits this or not. Yeah, I mean, but what you're doing is not wrong, but you need to write it down. Draw out some levels that you. I mean, this is how I did the same things before. Like I, just guessed at something, put a level, and then I was like, nope, that wasn't right. What could I have done better? Well, maybe I drew a level here because I saw this wick, and then I was like, oh, there's no other wicks here. That's not meaningful structure. Where is meaningful structure? Oh, this is pretty meaningful, right? So maybe my line's here, maybe my line's up here, kind of in the middle of these wicks, right? Okay, yeah, this one looks like meaningful structure. I mean, that's all it is, but you have to you can't just look at the price action in a candle and be like, okay, well, I mean, I'm being a hypocrite because I've seen it enough that I'm saying I expect it to move here, 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 and it might be the same thing. But I'm only doing that because I've done this for a long time. 3 years is not that long either, by the way. But the price moves themselves aren't the things that are like, this is expected off a big push up, and we overshot it. Like some pullback is healthy. That's expected. That's deeper than I was looking for, but wasn't unexpected. Like, so I said, this candle didn't really bother me because if I didn't have a level up here that I was already kind of seeing, then I might have been like, whoa, we're selling off, right? Because we got this big push down. But I think on the recording, you can go back and listen to it, but this didn't really, I'd say it didn't bother me. Yeah, it sucks to lose, 30 points, 20 points in 2 minutes, right? But I'm not scalping. So I'm not looking for 20 points in a move. I don't mind holding to see if this candle held, and what was the difference? $600. So I was willing to risk $600 on that move back. It's okay. I mean, I've already made enough for the night. I don't have to make any more. But yeah, Johnny, like, just if you see them, draw them up and then take a snapshot and ask the group for feedback on it. Like, and probably not by the candles. For yourself, draw one of these levels, right? Like you draw this level out when you see all these wicks forming, or when you see order blocks, or when you see a range. Mm-hmm. Anton, you're breaking up a little bit. Hold on, Anton. No, you're breaking up just a little bit. Hold on one second. So you said you win a couple, lose a couple, then lose some more. Like, what's the frequency? Is this in like the same 10-minute period, or is it like in a day? Well, close to 2 hours, I think. Well, maybe just set a limit. Like, if you take a trade and you win or lose on the trade, don't trade. Like, set a timer on your phone for 15 minutes or 30 minutes and don't take another trade. And like, if you miss an entry, it's like, hey, okay, what if I miss this push up? Then I try and find a level of significance to get a position if I believe it's got another leg. I mean, that's one way. I think the other thing you can look at, Anton, is like, if you were taking a position and you're like, okay, I see it, I feel it, like we're going to go up from here, and your target's like up here. Well, like, how long do you think that's going to take to get there? Like, go to the 60-minute, kind of figure out like, okay, what's the time of day you're in? We're in Asia, close to 11 Eastern, so go back and find 11 Eastern. Let's see. So 11 the night before, and probably most times 80 points, call it. So how many hours am I going to hold a trade to get 80 points? Well, in New York, I don't have to hold it that long to get 80 points. So an 80-point move is probably okay. And then, do you have realistic targets for your positions? And if you do, then maybe you're just over trading a little bit. I don't want to say that you can't take more than 3 trades an hour. If you're scalping and you're trying to get 10 points, then that's probably fine. If you're trying to get 50 or 100 points on a trade and you're taking 3 of those an hour, like, you're taking too many trades. Like, it's not going to move that much. So like, let's say you took a position, it went against you, wicked you out, and then it goes in your favor. Well, the next entry you get, you have a less expectancy of that target move, right? Because your target probably hasn't changed. Like, what in the like 10 minutes that trade played out has told you significantly different? That if you said, hey, my target's this range, and I was in here, and I bought here because I thought I was going to go, and then it came against me. Well, if I wait and I get back here again, I'm like, oh, now it's going to go. My expectancy is still, maybe bigger now. Is it going to move that much, or is it going to, like, it's probably a 1-to-1, right? You've taken maybe a 1-to-1 twice, and so like maybe it's if you get wicked out here, or this big pullback takes you out, maybe don't take a trade on. Like, let it give you more structure. Like, I don't know. Maybe you say, I was thinking longs, but look at this M that's forming. So maybe we're going to come up here and then reject. So let me wait and see, do I hold above this level? Do I print the body of a candle in here? And if I do, then the M's invalid, and this is just a healthy pullback. And yeah, I can take a trade here, and maybe I'm taking a scalp to here. I know, that's just ideas.